Okay, we're live.
Here we are.
Now it's time to pour some tea.
Pour
What tea are you
me
going
some
to
tea.
have?
I'm going to do peppermint.
Mente.
Yes. Good job.
Thank you.
It's kind of cold in here, so tea's going to be nice.
I turned up the heat. Should be good. Soon.
What kind are you going to get?
I'm going to do citron and gingembre.
Citrus and ginger?
Lemon and ginger.
Oh, lemon and ginger. Sounds good.
Got our stag kettle. Not sponsored yet.
We have our EOD candle, sponsored, kind of.
By Waves Social Podcast.
Yeah. See some people rolling through.
Nice.
Should we get into it?
Let me just pour your water and then we can get into it.
It's a nice sound.
I don't think I can pour and banter at the same time.
It's because you're a guy. Most men cannot multitask.
It's not just me.
It's just a true. Yeah, it's not your fault. Because you're a guy.
God bless. Should we get into it?
Yeah, let's do it. Welcome to Tea for Lunch, the show where we serve up the news that you need to know in 15 minutes or less.
We're at 2 shows in a row together.
I know. Feels kind of like...
After almost getting replaced, we're back twice
I know.
in a
I think
row.
next one we need to have someone else on the team so people don't get sick of us. And we're doing a lot of podcasts these days, so it would be nice to have a little break.
Yeah. I mean, we're doing a lot right now. Do you want to talk about what that is?
If you don't know, we have another podcast called Waves Social, and we just launched our 5th season of the show. We launched it yesterday, so I got no work done, which is never fun, but it was worth it because it feels really good to have it all out there.
Yeah.
I guess it is work, but no client work. So if you're interested in more marketing-led content, you should check out Waves Social. It's at Waves Social on Instagram and on TikTok and all this stuff. So go check it out.
WavesSocialPodcast.com, where you get the merch.
Yes. So merch is this candle right here, this lovely EOD candle. It's our third candle. I don't want to pick it up.
It's burning, but just so you can see it there.
Yeah. And apologies for everyone listening on audio. You can't see it, but you can go to wavesocialpodcast.com/merch to check it out.
Shop it on Instagram, whatever you want.
Yeah, and shout out to our team who did such an incredible job with the creative. I'm always so blown away by them, and they always have such original ideas. I'm not cool enough and in the know enough to lead that, so I'm so glad I don't have to. But I'm just really proud of everything that's out there.
You're cool, honey.
That's nice. Okay.
I guess the other thing we were going to mention too is that we're moving.
Oh.
Not our office, but personally.
Yeah, we're moving. But
yeah, for all our friends watching.
The other thing that we wanted to mention is that I'm pregnant.
Oh, we were going to say that too?
Yeah.
All right, we're getting personal here.
Yeah, so that's another update for us.
The tea's hot.
So it's been a big week. Yeah. And I'm exhausted.
We got a lot going on, but it's all good things.
Anyways, let's get into the stories for this week.
Yeah, before we get into our 3 stories, this one didn't make the cut, but I just still wanted to talk about it. Because I think more so for all our hype beasts and hype baes out there, we've been keeping up with a lot of this kind of stuff, so we may as well drop it so you're in the loop. But Supreme's new creative director is a clue to how it stays cool while getting bigger. So, like I said, this didn't make the cut for one of our 3 stories for the week, but there's been a lot of big acquisitions lately in the fashion space and streetwear. And so I thought it was really interesting because a couple years ago, Supreme was acquired by a larger conglomerate for, I think, a couple $2 billion. And whenever that happens, kind of like what we talked about a few weeks ago with Aimé Leon Dore, you kind of wonder, is the brand going to get diluted? Where are they going to go from here? How are they going to stay cool as they scale? And this is obviously Supreme's move to hopefully keep them cool while they scale. So they've hired Tremaine Emery from Denim Tears, and he'll be their creative director, working directly with James Jebbia, the founder of Supreme, to just keep things edgy. He's known for his political takes and kind of infusing politics and his opinions, and even just holding people accountable through the work that he does with fashion and art and events and things like that. So I feel like you got to know it's going to be something a little bit spicy.
Fun. I don't know who any of those people are, but they all look really cool. I've seen photos of them, so congrats, Supreme. But also, that was more than just an honorable mention. That was a full-on story. So today you're getting 4 stories.
Next time we just put it in the 3.
So if you're new around here and you don't know, Tea for Lent is a show that goes live every Thursday at around 12:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, or that's 2:30 p.m. Eastern or 11:30 a.m. Pacific. You can catch us live on Instagram right here if you're watching, or you can catch us through podcast on Fridays. It'll be live every Friday morning, so you can just listen to it on audio if that's more of your thing. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
I'm going to get into our headline for today, which is around Instagram. Instagram has been releasing so many updates lately. This year it's been like crazy. Another update they released this week was that they introduced Instagram story likes. So now you can actually send some love by liking someone's story and without actually sending a DM, which is kind of nice. Likes on stories are private and they do not have counts, so no one sees how many story likes you get. But they appear as heart next to people's handles in your stories view sheet. So I thought this was really interesting because Instagram has said publicly that they're focusing this year on creators and messaging. So to make messages more streamlined and to clear out your DMs, this is going to mean that the likes from stories you get will move into a separate area. So I'm all for organizing your DMs.
Do you think reactions will still go into people's DMs? Like when you do the flames emoji reaction?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
I don't know if everyone uses those. I use those, but I feel like it's either the flames emoji or like the shocked face.
I do the heart face, like a heart one.
Yeah,
I like that one. But yeah, I'm like, this is enough of reaction, but I think it's funny when people like react to a story and then like your reaction. I'm like, where do we go from here?
Who's ending this
I know,
exchange?
should I like...
Be honest though, do you look at who watches your stories?
Never.
You don't?
I never ever look at it.
I feel like more people than you would expect do that. So, and that's the way you'll have to do it if you want to see who's liking your stories now.
I guess. I could care less who watches my stories.
It's kind of interesting though. Like I don't look very often, but once in a while I just will out of curiosity, especially if a story gets more views than usual. And it's interesting to see who watches them because I feel like maybe 30% are your close friends, but then the rest of them, who knows who they are.
Yeah, I kind of would rather not think about who these random people are that are watching my stories. I just accept if it's public, then everyone will watch it.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I forget that I'll share something on a story and then I'll see someone in real life and they'll mention something and I'll be like, how'd you know that? And then I just forget, I just kind of put it, it's away in my memory.
Forget
yeah,
it.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Should we move on to the next one?
Let's do it.
Okay, the one I got is Amazon introduces the $1 billion Lord of the Rings trailer.
My.
So they introduced this during the Super Bowl. But before I get into this, I think you need to confess to everyone watching or listening.
Okay. No one cares that much. I have never seen a Lord of the Rings movie.
Do you care that much? I feel like people care.
I don't think people care.
I can't really see the comments,
I don't think
but
it's
I
a
think
big
people
deal
care.
that I haven't. I just don't have the attention span. Or, sorry, but I don't have the interest in
it's not that big of a
fantasy.
deal today because those Lord of the Rings movies aren't as relevant. But at the time, they were blockbuster hits. They were some of the highest production movies ever. It was crazy that you weren't part of that wave, especially for people our age.
People just lost me at Hobbits. I just can't get invested in that. It's just not my thing.
I mean, I have hairy feet like hobbits.
I watched 7 seasons of Sex and the City, but I did not watch any of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, so I think we're even.
I mean, I guess I never watched Sex and the City, so yeah, we are even. But anyways, the show itself has a total production price tag of over $1 billion. And according to the Hollywood Reporter, Amazon is committed to at least 5 seasons, so it's going to be around for a bit. I honestly assumed when I heard about this that it was going to kind of be retracing the steps of the movies from years ago, like when we were in high school, kind of like all of the different takes on Spider-Man that Marvel has blessed us with over the years. But apparently, according to Amazon, it's going to be all original storylines that kind of acts as a prequel to the movies that we all know and love.
Wonderful. I'm very happy for all of the Lord of the Rings.
Well, it sounds like Mitzi has nothing more to say about that.
I will say that I did, out of my investment for Tea for Lunch, I watched the trailer and it looks expensive. So if it's a well done production, I will humor you and try to watch the show. I did what's the other one that I liked? It was kind of the same vibe. Game of Thrones.
Oh.
So who knows?
Yeah,
I'm not closed off.
Lord of the Rings is definitely more wholesome than Game of Thrones.
Great.
Okay.
On to the next one.
All right, take us
there.
there.
The last story that we have for you is about floating QR code, which was by Coinbase. It was much talked about, and some people say it's the best ad for the Super Bowl. It was a really, did you see the actual ad? It was really interesting. It almost reminded me of that scene in The Office.
I was going to say the same thing.
Where they're like watching the screen and like cheering for the like little box to get to the corners.
Right,
like,
sneak it right into the corner.
Yeah.
I was honestly watching the commercial hoping that would happen.
Well, actually, it did happen, and there's like all these videos of like groups of people who are watching the Super Bowl, and this
Nice.
commercial comes on. They're like cheering when it gets to the like corner of it. But anyway, so if you haven't seen it, the commercial is just a QR code, a little square, and it says different like colors on it, and then it just literally just moves around the screen, and that's the commercial.
Just
which
like
is,
a classic old screensaver kind of.
yeah, and it's a huge juxtaposition to all the other commercials that you saw during the Super Bowl, which featured celebrities.
Know what it
big
kind of also
stunts.
reminds me of?
What?
I think it was last year, Reddit's commercial in the Super Bowl that was just like a single screen, and it just kind of made it feel like your TV had been hacked.
Right. And that one
That
also
one broke
blew
the
up.
internet,
Yeah. So this Coinbase commercial was a QR code that would take you to their app, where you would download the app and you'd sign up for a membership and then also be entered to win this like sweepstakes or whatever. Anyways, the commercial reportedly cost $14 million. It was 30 seconds. And it was so successful that it crashed the company's app. But overall, in addition to crashing the app, it was before that commercial aired, Coinbase was ranked as 186th place in the App Store. Then after the commercial ran, it was ranked number 2. So that's a huge, like almost impossible jump to make. So from even just that, it seems like the ad was successful. Then I saw a tweet that said in order to break even on the ad cost, Coinbase would need to generate 48,000 new users, and apparently they received over 2 million hits in the minute that they air ad, not including all the hits that they received afterwards. So it sounds like they made their money back, which is great for them.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting even just that they went for conversions over like brand and awareness. Like every other Super Bowl commercial is obviously just a brand play.
Totally. Yeah, I thought it was super interesting. I love when brands do this. It's like they're outside of the mold. They do something totally different like Reddit did last year. So I'm in favor of it.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Shoot your shot. And I mean, Coinbase.
Yeah,
They're legit anyway.
it also like kind of, there's so many crypto ads this year in the Super Bowl that almost feels like crypto is going to be like a new Super Bowl category, like
a
crypto
disruptor.
and also sports betting were like two kind of outlier categories in the Super Bowl. Like usually you'll see lots of beer commercials or like car commercials, but this was like kind of a mixed bag of different industries and categories. So I'm all in favor of like diversifying that as well.
I'm with you.
Fun stuff.
Yeah. Is
Well,
that all we got?
That's it.
Okay, well now that we've whet your palate, go eat something more substantial.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.
You got it?
I think so.
Peace.